Alright, hey, this is Michael and Clay here from Dualcast Drafts. We are in Cons of Tarkir 8-4Q, just waiting for it to fill up.
Oh, yeah.
Clay, Clay was just asking me if I was aware of a phenomenon called ghosting.
Oh, yeah. Well, do you want me to tell the story, I guess?
Yeah, tell your story.
All right. I mean, it was just the other day on, who was keyboard?
It was LSV and Paul
Tion and
Xian.
LSB were streaming, and they noticed that Andrew Cuneo joined their pod, and
For those who don't know, those are three very famous professional Magic players. I don't know if everyone actually knows that kind of stuff, you know?
yeah.
I mean, obviously, well, go on.
Yeah. And then, so, Paul Xian drafts like a decent, Jeskai deck, and he picks up a banner along the way. And so during deck building, Andrew Cuneo pops up in his stream chat and says, a banner is a great way to increase your red, white, and blue sources.
So he was just sitting there watching them make their deck.
Make their deck and gave them some, helpful but not very good advice.
Yeah, man, play that banner right there.
Yeah.
Ooh, you should probably main deck that enchantment removal as well.
Oh, yes, certainly.
I'm playing the Ascendancy deck. Now, that's interesting, like, if you were in the draft and you could see that you were right next to a person who was streaming in the draft and you could actually have that open and see what they were passing you.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be extraordinarily helpful.
Oh, yeah. And that's the other problem is you can also watch them like while they're playing and know what's in their hand when you're playing against them,
Yeah. That's an unfortunate thing to do. But I guess that's part of the territory. All right, here we are. The draft just fired. What do we got here? It looks like our rare is Keru Lichlord, which looks like a bomb, but I'm actually not that big a fan of it. It's just like so expensive. Yeah. It's a 6-mana 4/4, and it doesn't do anything when it comes down. And you have to pay mana every turn to do it, and it's random, so you don't always get what you want.
Right. It's like
there's actually a lot of other powerful cards in this pack. This is a really stacked pack. Wow, there's Hordling Outburst, there's Monastery Swiftspear, 2 good red cards. Monastery Swiftspear I'm not as big a fan of in Limited as it is in Constructed. Winter Flame is a very powerful burn spell. It's good in Jeskai, but it kind of commits you to blue-red. Or Teamer as well, sorry.
It's good in blue-red, though.
Yeah. Absent Guy is a very powerful morph. Wow, we only have 20 seconds left. Hooting Mandrills is a strong green card. I like the land. Mardu Horde Chief is a solid white card. Every card in this pack is just awesome. I think we're going to take Hordling Outburst.
Hordling Outburst is your pick.
Yeah.
Saying we're red now.
There's a couple reasons. One is because I've never gotten a chance to play the tokens deck, and if we can wield this Ponyback Brigade, then we'll be in a good position there.
That's genius.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, we just got past a Herald of Anafinza, which
there you go.
coincidentally is very good in the tokens deck. It's interesting, our opponent took an uncommon here, but there's a Tri-Land and a Herald and a Debilitating Injury, which a lot of people think is the best common in the set just because it's a very solid removal spell.
It is very solid.
I also am a big fan of Jeskai Wind Scout. I think this card's a little undervalued, although I haven't been drafting recently, so I don't know if it's still being undervalued or not.
Right.
The meta really changes up week to week as people's valuations of cards kind of change, especially as pros and stuff release lists and write articles about the format.
Yeah, Jeskai Wind Scout is certainly a fine creature. It's very good. It has evasion, which is super important in this format.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's just going to get in for 6, 8 damage.
I'm also a big fan of Force Away. I like the land here, obviously. I like taking the Herald of Anafinza here because I think it's pretty powerful. If we're in a red deck, it's very likely we're going to be red-white, either Mardu or Jeskai. So it's a good color pair to be in. All right, what do we have here? All right, so we've got the Active Treason, which I like in this kind of a deck, but I don't think we want to pick it this early. We've got the Leaping Master, which early on I thought was going to be very good, but I was completely off base on this card. I'm not a very big fan of it. Rush of Battle.
How often do you really give it flying? It's not very often.
3 mana is very expensive. Rush of Battle I like in these kind of decks, but again, I don't know if I want to pick it this early. We might just pick up the land here. Just as kind of a hedge into Jeskai. Just nothing else. Nothing else. Or I mean, who knows? Like we can end up going 5-color, and you just kind of gotta see where the draft takes you. But
Russia Battle would just say like we're all in it on this strategy now.
I just like part of like drafting a format well is just not taking cards like before the pick that they're worth, even if like you think it's in the strategy you're gonna be in. And the lands are like almost always worth a high pick, particularly if you're already in one of the colors.
Right.
Like for instance, here we just got a free Weapon Master, where now we can be like, oh hey, maybe we're Jeskai, right? And in fact, well, I just saw this Mardu Horde Chief though. I think we're definitely going to take this. I'm a big fan of the Horde Chief. It's just a lot of value for 3 mana. A 3 mana 2/3 on its own is like totally fine in this format because it comes down and blocks morphs and attacks endomorphs. And it gives you a 1/1 to boot, which is just insane. That's 3 power and 4 toughness for 3 mana if you manage to attack, which we probably will. And again, like I think if it wasn't for the Horde Chief, which I'm a big fan of, I would take the Efreet Weapon Master.
Yeah, that card has a very powerful effect. Like
and it's like we could potentially be in Jeskai. We might end up in just Mardu and not play it, but we have the fixing already. So I also like Dead Drop in this pack, but I don't think Dead Drop is very good for a super aggressive deck.
No,
maybe it is though. It's so powerful.
In a long game, good deck. Like
so
it's early double spell.
Yeah, I'm getting the feeling that white is open because we were seeing a lot of these just like mono white cards being passed to us, which I like. Because whether we're Jeskai or Mardu, we're going to be heavy white based probably anyways. I think we're going to take this Alabaster Kieran here. I'm a really big fan of this card. What do you think about it, Clay?
I think it's a very good card. Like it doesn't suffer from the one toughness issue that the Jeskai Wind Scout does. And it just blocks morphs and attacks in the air all day long.
It in fact it attacks and still blocks, like because it has vigilance. So it's just like, I've always been very impressed with this card in like offensive or defensive decks. It's great.
Yeah, it's like
other cards in this pack I like are the Hooting Mandrills, but I don't think we're really in like the green territory right now. Oh wow, Abzan Battle Priest.
All right, we'll take it.
Yeah, so like I said, I was really getting this feeling that these white was like, I mean, maybe we'll draft a mono white deck like Kenji did that one time.
That's fun.
I think we're gonna take the Abzan Battle Priest here. Other cards to think about. I like the Mardu Hateblade a little bit, but we might not be Mardu for the black activation. But it would probably be worth picking up. Although, actually, we would probably just take the Canyon Lurkers, which is a card that I'm a pretty big fan of. It's very easy to sneak in 5 damage with that guy, because people are so reluctant to block morphs. And also, they just don't expect you to have it on 4 mana,
Yeah, once they see it, it becomes once they see it once, they're a little get a little more willing to. I feel like
But I really love the 1 mana Outlast guys. They're so powerful. I think.
Oh yeah, he was easily the pick from that pack.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Here, I think we're actually going to take this other land, which I like doing. Like you might think that we wasted a pick or something by taking these 2 lands because we're likely to just be either Mardu or Jeskai, but.
Right.
It's just nice to hedge in either direction, so now we can feel comfortable kind of doing whatever.
Oh yeah, and that's pretty late for that red-black land to come. So
it is. Lands really vary like draft to draft because for one, sometimes there's like just lots of them, and just different people value them very differently.
Right.
And you kind of just depending on what cards you open, you kind of change your valuation on the fly. Like if you're going into a 2-color deck, you don't value them as much.
Absolutely.
All right, what do we like out of this pack? What do you think, Clay?
I have no idea. Honestly.
I think it's Singing Bell Strike.
Yeah.
I've actually been pretty impressed with this card.
It's definitely good in this deck too.
If we end up in Jeskai, like I don't think this is a reason for us to play Jeskai if this is like our only blue card or whatever. Right. But if we do end up in Jeskai, I think we'll probably play Singing Bell Strike. Alternatively, we could think about Wetland Sandbar.
Yeah,
or even the red burn spell would be a consideration.
Well, Kiru Witchboard wield.
Yeah. See, people don't like this card. They're kind of like, they're turned off of it, and a lot of like I think pros and like Marshall has talked about how he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
We're gonna take Winter Flame here. This wheeling is another kind of sign that maybe Jeskai is open with all this white.
I can't believe that Winter Flame wheeled out of that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because blue-red is a 2-color pair that people are reluctant to get into early in pack 1. Yeah, which means we can kind of pick it up here and maybe we're going to be Jeskai. Or who knows? We'll see what happens. Nothing for us here. We'll just take... I don't know. Is this Firehoof Cavalry really worth playing? I kind of just look at it and think I'd rather just cut this green card, but...
Yeah,
no, we'll just take it for signaling purposes. Just because, like, maybe the person to our left thinks this is a playable white card and it pushes him into white for some reason. I don't know.
I guess so. It was all pretty inconsequential, you know.
I'm putting it right in the sideboard. I don't think it's playable. A 1-mana 1/1 I just don't like. I've been killed by it, though, to be fair. Like, a person has killed me with that card.
Now, on this one, I like Defiant Strike quite a lot at this pick level, you know, like...
Yeah, I almost want to hate out Archer's Parapet because it's a very good card against us.
Michael, that's...
No, but we're going to take Defiant Strike. Ooh, interesting. Swift Kick or Disdainful Stroke? I think I'll take Swift Kick. This is about where I want to pick up Swift Kick in a draft, you know?
Yeah, Swift Kick is...
We won't play Swift Kick unless we just have every other creature that we pick up from now on as a prowess creature.
It's way worse than Defiant Strike, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, alright. I kind of like having a random Venerable Lamassu sometimes. No one really expects the Lamassu. Yeah. It's nice, even in like a kind of an aggressive deck, to have a random 7-drop sometimes. As Brian Wong puts it, he likes to have like the flood insurance, you know?
Yeah.
So that game when your opponent opens with like 2 Archer's Parapets, you can maybe draw into not losing. Alright, let's see what we get for pack 2. We really don't even have that much red. Oh, wow. What? So should we take the foil Mind Swipe or the non-foil Mind Swipe?
There's also suspension field.
Oh my goodness. We can't pass double Mind Swipe. What is it? That doesn't even make sense. Oh, it's so weird.
I like Suspension Field is a much better card.
Suspension Field it's so much better, you're right. Oh, man. Suspension Field's like the best removal in the format.
Dude, Winter Flame Wheel maybe both Mind Swipes will wheel.
Dude, I actually almost guarantee you that one Mind Swipe will wheel.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's going to take the foil one just because they want it, but I think one Mind Swipe might wheel.
Yeah, we can play with that card probably.
Yeah. Alternatively, the Free Weapon Master is very good. I really, really love Pine Walker, but it's not for us, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's very good.
Savage Punch
Student, much better with Defiant Strike and Swift Kick.
Yeah, I don't really like the Jeskai Student, to be honest.
He's fine.
I just don't like playing creatures that have 1 toughness. Or,
power.
Sorry, one power, I mean. On the own. But I know what you mean. Is this...
It's in, you know.
No, this is not. Ride Down is good. This is Deflecting Palm. Deflecting Palm's no good. We don't want that card.
Not for us, no.
Oh, okay, we have some interesting choices here, though. A lot of good cards in this pack as well. We've got the Tri-Land, which I really like, but it's not for us. We've got Take Up Arms, which I don't know how I feel about it, because when you compare it to Hordeling Outburst, it's so much worse.
Yeah, if you have had a bunch of warrior stuff.
Exactly, warrior stuff. Would make it better. Alright, so here's what I think it comes down to. There's a Burn Spell, Bring Low, there's another Alabaster Kirin, and there's a Jeskai Wind Scout.
Yeah.
I think I like the Wind Scout a little bit better than the Kirin, but we're not completely committed to blue yet, so I think I might just take the Kirin instead.
Right, if we're only splashing blue, it really decreases the times that Jeskai Wind Scout comes out on turn 3, you know?
It's true. And I love having Kirin. I know it's 1 mana more expensive, so it's nice to have the Wind Scouts to lower your curve. But
yeah, I mean you can get 3 drops in this format, you know.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, there's an excellent one. Wow,
we've seen some really strong cards and strong packs here. There's an Avalanche Tusker, which is okay. It's not great as far as 3-color bomb rares go or whatever. Misfire Weaver, I'm a really big fan of.
Oh yeah, excellent card.
And it's easy to splash too because it has Morph.
Yep.
But there's also a Mardu Horde Chief and a blue-white land, which we would take. I think we just take the Horde Chief, though.
The Horde Chief over the Weaver, huh? Yeah, I guess you're right.
Well, No,
following
I
the
mean
same.
maybe I don't know. Do you think
I
I'm
feel like the
wrong?
Misfire Weaver's effect is more powerful than the Horde you know. But if we're planning on maximizing tokens, then the Horde is clearly better.
Hmm.
Uh,
I don't want to go all in on maximizing tokens. I just want to take the best cards.
and I mean the Misfire Weaver, I think, is just like it. The effect is strong, and it's a 3/1 flyer, and like that gets in
Yeah,
for
I'm
lots
gonna
of
take it.
reasons.
You convince me. And look at that, a sign from above. We're gonna take this white blue land.
Yep, there you go.
Alternatively, excuse me. Alternatively, we would take Valley Dasher. I think. Right? I kind of like Valley Dasher if we're aggressive. Although we
Yeah.
don't. I mean, when you look at our list now, if we're gonna take this like white blue land after taking that Misfire Weaver, we don't really have that much red. You know.
Yeah.
All we have is the outburst, and to be honest, if we only have a little bit of red, we can't really play the outburst because it has double red.
That's true. That's true.
That's something that I should have thought about a little bit more. I thought about it briefly. I didn't mention it when we first picked it. It's kind of picking a double converted mana cost card. First pick is like similar to picking a double or triple colored cost card first pick. You know, because it really commits you to being heavy that color.
Absolutely. But
Yeah, but there's fixing and stuff.
we don't
Though,
have
so.
to. Yeah, and I mean
We'll
we
think
don't have to
about
play the card. Like the deck actually looks quite strong without it. We're just a
True.
little weak.
We're a little heavy on 4 drops. We need some
Yeah.
early drops. That being said, I think that the pick here is Smite the Monstrous, right?
Yeah. I think we need that sort of effect in this deck, especially. And like, Bloodfire Mentor is okay, but it kind of gets away from our original game plan. But
We
we
never
could.
really played this card. I don't know about it. I don't think it's good in like. The thing is, just I don't think it's good in the majority of red-blue decks.
Yeah, but I mean, we have a lot of 4 drops and a 7 drop. It could be good in that kind of deck.
Yeah. Well, I think we're still going to take Smite. I like having 1 Smite in my deck, in my main board.
All right.
I also really like Sultai Scavenger, but I don't think we're going to be in black. Wow, all these white-blue lands.
I think we might want the 2 drop. One of those 2 drops.
That's true. I was thinking it is always good to kind of shore up your creature count. It looks like we have a fair amount of stuff to be triggering prowess with, don't we?
Yeah, I feel like the Jeskai Student is better than the Leaping Master right now, for many reasons. Like we're not even sure if we're going to play red.
Yeah, I agree.
We have enough ways. Like Jeskai Student plus Defiant Strike is actually very strong. Very strong.
That's true.
Turn 3 especially.
All right, we'll take the student. I'm willing to give him a chance. Wow, Mystic Monastery?
Well,
I mean, if that's not a signal that Jeskai is open, I don't know what is.
you should probably take that one.
I mean, also there's just not much else for us. I mean, the Tracker, the Mentor, and the Smite the Monstrous are all okay. I don't really like to play 2 Smite the Monstruses.
Yeah, you don't really need to.
Enoch Tracker I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah.
But Monastery I'm a big fan of.
Oh yeah, who doesn't love a Monastery?
Interesting. Set Adrift or Glacial Stalker?
That's interesting. They're both very strong.
I don't know how I feel about Set Adrift.
I feel.
But it could be pretty
okay
good. It could be pretty good in this deck, though, when you think about it.
Yeah,
Because we're gonna dump a lot of instants and sorceries into the graveyard, and it's just good for triggering prowess and like doing tempo plays.
We don't have that many instants and sorceries at this point, right? Like,
Let's try it out. I like the Glacial Stalker. Just it's a good efficient creature. It's a fatty in blue, which is just weird,
yeah.
Ooh, so we did wheel a Mind Swipe, but not the foil one.
Damn.
We also wait. Was there a Treasure Cruise in that pack, and we didn't even see it?
Jeez.
No, maybe this is a different pack that also has a Mind Swipe. No, it's not. So do we take Treasure Cruise or Mind Swipe? I think we just take a Mind Swipe.
Mind Swipe is quite a strong card in the late game.
But so is Treasure Cruise. I don't know.
That's very true. Too late for us now.
Alright, so here I think we have a choice between Bring Low and Singing Bell Strike. We have so many 4-drops, though.
Yeah.
I feel like we have to take the Singing Bell Strike.
I think it's fine. I think I like the second one a lot more than I like the first one,
That's good because that's true because once you have like the second one is like they can't pay that twice really.
Yeah, that's not happening realistically.
All right, we'll take this Daneful Tarkir, but put it in the sideboard because Mindswipe's way better.
Yeah, we could bring it in though.
Siegecraft, sideboard, Swift Kick, sideboard, Feed the Clan, sideboard, Plains, sideboard.
Alright, so I feel like we need to focus on our
Creatures.
3-drop slot. And creatures. Creatures for the 3-drop slot would really be ideal. Which is like, you know.
Some Jeskai Windscaps would be nice.
Jeskai Windscout would be sweet. You know, any more creature.
Polluted Delta's nice too, though.
Oh, Polluted Delta.
Wow, there's a lot of other strong cards in this pack, though. Polluted Delta, Dead Drop, if we were in black. Heir of the Wilds is so good, but we're not in green. Jeskai Charm would probably be our non-money pick here. Let me search and see how much Polluted Delta is really worth, because the fetches have gone down a lot online.
I don't see how much Jeskai Charm is worth, you know.
Polluted Delta's 3.5 tickets. Jeskai Charm can't be worth that much.
It's worth, like, you know, a few dollars in cash.
It's worth a ticket, maybe.
Alright. That's 1/3 of a Polluted Delta, you know.
Yeah, let's just take the Jeskai Charm. Screw Polluted Delta. I don't play any Constructed Online for the sake of the recording.
Yeah, Michael, if we lose this draft,
I'll be very sad.
I won't buy you a Polluted Delta.
Wow, some spicy picks here too. So we've got the Icy Blast, but the thing is that I just don't think we can reliably trigger the Ferocious.
We have the Abzan Battle Priest on the Outlast and the Lamasu.
Yeah. So I just don't think it's very good for us.
Yeah. Not to say that it's not.
No, it's like okay, but it's just not that impressive when it doesn't have the Ferocious ever.
Yeah.
And I am looking at this Warden of the Eye, and I like it a lot.
Oh, Warden of the Eye.
Warden of the Eye is just like value. Yeah. Value town.
Value town.
In our kind of a deck, it's just it's like just a 2-for-1 basically. Built in.
It says draw a sweet card.
Yeah. So we're gonna take that. Alternatively, I like Force Away. I like Monastery Flock because we can just play it as a 3-mana 2/2, and sometimes you can do shenanigans with this with the 5 toughness. And Sage Eye Harrier would be like a desperate last pick.
Yeah, it's no, we need to be doing on turn 4 really.
Yeah. All right. So we've got Trumpet Blast, we've got Master the Way, Active Treason, Crippling Chill, Defiant Strike, Treasure Cruise, and a land. All cards that would go fine in this deck.
Yeah, they're all pushing us like further and further into the late game, you know?
So we could think about Trumpet Blast. We don't have that much token action going on. We do have a fair amount. I like taking the land. I like Master the Way. I think it's a very strong card. I like Crippling Chill. It fits into our curve nicely.
Oh, that's true.
But I think Master the Way might be worth taking just on power level.
It is certainly the strongest card in the pick.
And we don't have that much like hard removal. I mean, we have some. But I think Master the Way is a pretty good card. I'm a big fan of it. And I think we're just going to take it. And honestly, we're probably going to wheel something out of this pack, like maybe a Defiant Strike. If we want it.
Yeah, let's see.
Enoch Bonkin fits the bill perfectly,
right.
I believe.
That is just what we needed.
Yep, just a nice little aggressive 2-drop that can start beefing itself up. Alternatively, there's not much else for us, really. Hateblade, Leaping Master.
No.
Not much in this pack. I mean, Debilitating Injury is the best card in the pack, and then probably Alpine Grizzly after that. Not counting the Bond. Probably Debilitating Injury, Bondkin, Grizzly. Oh, wow. High Spire Mantis. I mean, I know it's another 4-drop, but like you can't really complain when you're playing sweet ass 4-drops, you know. Like we have a lot of 4-drops, but they're all really good, so I don't really mind. Misfire Weaver is actually a 3-drop, to be fair.
That's true.
Yeah, highest for mana is a 4-mana 3/3 flyer. Just forget the flample, the flying trample.
Yeah.
Just a 4-mana 3/3 flyer is just
What's
awesome.
the point of flying in trample, honestly? Like,
The point is that every random once in a while it's relevant and it's funny that it's relevant. Like,
yeah.
most of the time it's not, but sometimes it is. Like a lot of random things in Magic. Oh wow.
Oh jeez.
Two Jeskai bombs here. We definitely got the read that Jeskai was open for sure.
Yep.
No doubt about that.
That White Mystic Monastery sealed the deal.
Yeah.
You know.
So here, I think the Warden of the Eye is a more powerful card, I think. But I think we need to take a free Weapon Master for curve purposes. Do you agree? Because the Weapon Master can come down on turn 3.
Yeah, you're right.
And they're both very
it's
strong.
Not like, it's not like a free Weapon Master doesn't affect the board very heavily,
No. I mean, it's not like it's not close. Like, I have to think about it. The 2-for-1 aspect of Warden of the Eye is just going to win me over every time in terms of just determining raw power level. But this is pack 3. We're pack 3 is where your pick order has to kind of not be based about power level and has to be about
making the best deck.
Yeah, making the best deck. Oh man, is there any chance that we can play Ponyback Brigade? We have a black mana. What if we just want a 3-mana 2/2? Our deck might. We only have 12 creatures.
I feel like if we were going to do that, we'd probably have to cut the Hordling Outburst, right? Like,
why? This is the same as just having a mountain for the Hordling Outburst.
So we're just like
we're just gonna play one
swamp.
swamps.
Is what you're saying?
Yeah, dude. Just play it as a 3-mana 2/2. I'm only saying that because there's not really much else for us to pick in this pack.
Yeah, we'll look at it during deck building.
Yeah, I'm not saying we're gonna do it, but all right, so here I would probably just pick up Scaldkin or Dazzling Ramparts. Maybe we should just take Witness of the Ages, though.
I feel like Canyon Lurkers is a better morph than Witness of the Ages.
Oh, wow. I didn't even see Canyon Lurkers. I'm sorry, we're definitely going to take Canyon Lurkers.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah, for some reason I just glossed right over that. Didn't see it.
No problem.
Yeah, Scaldkin is okay, but our 4-drop slot is fat with guys way better than Scaldkin.
We have no room for you, Scaldkin.
Yeah, so I'm like I said, I'm a fan of the Canyon Lurkers.
Yeah.
Oh, just a kind of a late disowned ancestor. I like that card.
Yeah, it actually does some considerable work against us, right? Like,
yeah, we're just gonna take it. There's literally nothing for us here. Like, we're not gonna play Siegecraft.
Yeah.
And we already have one anyways. All right, interesting. I've seen some people make good use of Brave the Sands.
I feel like that's best case scenario mentality, right? Like,
probably. I think we'll just take Monastery Flock. I kind of like this card.
Yeah. I don't like
Maybe
spending
Sage High Area is better
to do
though.
nothing a lot of the time.
No, I like the 1-mana on Morph on. The 1-mana on Morph on Monastery Flock is sweet.
Yeah, that's great. I'm talking about Brave the Sands. I just feel like it doesn't impact the board enough unless you have a bunch of creatures.
Agreed. Active treason for value.
I don't hate Defiant Strike, like I'll say again. But we can make some nice plays with Active Treason.
I don't know if we'll main deck it, but I like to have it around as an option. The thing about Active Treason is that it can win you games that no other card can win you games.
That's true.
Here we're just going to take Cancel, I guess. We're not going to play it.
No, I feel like we played Disdainful Stroke and Mind Swipe over that Cancel.
Yeah. Interesting that the Snowhorn Rider's still in the pack.
Yeah.
And that card's decent. Alright, this is our deck. We got a lot of cards. We got a lot of cuts to make. It's looking like it's going to be kind of a spicy Jeskai brew.
Nice spicy brew.
Yeah, I haven't had much experience playing with Jeskai, so I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like our deck wants to like make some tempo plays in the early game, keep them off their back foot for a little while, and then play out our strong 4, 5, and 6 drops.
Indeed. Let's move our morph guys over to where they belong. Our curve doesn't look that bad. All right, so even though we're like an aggressive deck, our card's not that low, and we have 3 colors, so we're definitely playing 18 lands.
Yeah.
Which means we have 6 cuts to make.
Like I'm saying, I'm not sure really how aggressive we are. We kind of like take much more advantage in the mid game, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing about this format is that even the aggressive decks don't have that. Unless you're kind of an oddity of a deck that just has a ton of 2-drops, like this is what an aggressive deck looks like. You just have aggressive 3 and 4 drops rather than like slow, like defensive 3 and 4 drops, and then like 5 and 6 drop bombs.
I've seen plenty of decks that have like 5 and 6 drops,
Yeah. All right, so what do you think we're cutting here? Looking around, I'm dubious of the Ponyback Brigade.
I'm very dubious of that Ponyback Brigade.
I think we're just going to go ahead and cut it. We have enough 3-drops that we don't need to just play a desperation one.
Right.
I like all of these creatures. I don't know about the Venerable Lamassu either. Given that we have just all of these other really great flyers, it's probably not necessary. Right. But then after that, we just can't really afford to cut any more creatures.
Yeah. So, my first picks are Swift Kick and Act of Treason.
That's probably fair enough. And then, so I'm looking at the amount of red we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 red cards.
Yeah.
Hordeling Outburst might be tricky, but it's so powerful. I'm just hesitant to not play it.
Yeah. How many? We have 2 red producing, or 1. Only 1 red producing dual land. We just have the missing monastery.
We have just the monastery.
Yeah, I'm very dubious of that Hordeling Outburst as well.
And the other thing is that we don't. I mean, it is powerful, but we don't have. We don't have any. We didn't get like the random trumpet blast or anything like that. You know what I mean? We didn't get the rush of battle because we didn't prioritize it, which I think is correct to do. But
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's frustrating, but I'm not sure if we can support Hordeling Outburst.
Yeah.
All right, and that leaves us with one more cut to make. I'm looking at Smite the Monstrous, Set Adrift, and Mind Swipe.
I also have Defiant Strike on that list for us.
Oh, that's probably true. It's like we don't actually have that. We have 1 prowess creature.
Yeah, it's still like can get your guys to trade up, like draws you a card.
But just the way you say that, I think it's just worth taking out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like but it could get your guys to trade up, maybe like.
Yeah, they trade up, but you stay up. It's just a 1-for-1 in that situation. You still draw a card as well.
I know, but I'm just like saying, like it cards too much setup cost. I don't like it.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Given that because we don't have a bunch of creatures that just we default want to be casting it with, like a bunch of prowess creatures, for instance.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I don't know. I mean, it's just everything else. I could make the same argument for Mindswipe, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I just kind of want to play Mindswipe. I want to kill someone with it on this video. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's like it works very similarly to like how a Blaze would in the late game.
It's true because they're gonna play something eventually.
Yeah. Or if they don't, you win. Usually.
By the way, let's remember to keep an eye on the clock this time.
Oh yeah.
So about 4 or 5 days ago, me and Clay tried to record a video where we just got so involved in the deck construction that we forgot to look at the clock, and we ran out of time after we'd had our deck built, but we just had it sitting there and forgot to click submit.
Right, now let's not make the same mistake here by talking about that last time.
Yeah, but so in case you don't know, what ends up happening then is Moto submits all 80 cards that you drafted, or all however many cards that you drafted, plus a bunch of random mana. So you just end up with an 80-card deck with just all your cards jumbled together, and it's really funny to play. And then after you inevitably lose game 1, you can sideboard into your actual deck to try and salvage the match. But anyways, the recording didn't really work out.
Yeah.
So hopefully this one will go better, and we won't lose track of time. All right, so what is this last card? I think it's a Defiant Strike.
Yeah, I'm down with Defiant Strike as well.
All right.
Makes this
this deck looks interesting. What are we missing? Is there anything here?
I don't think so.
No, the only card that pains me to see in the sideboard is Hordeling Outburst.
Yeah, I think it's correct not to play it here though. Let's just like
There's probably matchups where we would sideboard it in. I would sideboard it in. We saw 2 dead drops going around.
oh yeah, geez.
We'll sideboard in Hordling Outburst against dead drops all day.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll put in our 3 dual lands, which is pretty nice on our mana.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not ideal. We would have liked probably 1 or 2 more, but, you know, a man can dream. 6 plains, 4 islands, or 5 islands and 4 mountains.
That gives us.
We need white in the early game. All of these don't really matter because they're colorless. White in the 4-drop. We just need a lot of white. Blue and red just kind of comes whenever.
I think that puts us at 9-8-5.
9-8-5.
And I don't think that's terrible.
How many red cards do we have?
Yeah.
1,
We do have a
2,
bunch of red
3,
cards.
4, 5, 6. How many blue cards do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, I think we do want that much blue.
Yeah. So I think we'll do that.
Oh, my vote's for the other way, but
Oh, really?
yeah, I feel like we have enough blue cards that that's worthwhile, you know, like, and so like ones that need to come down and turn up on turn 5, you know, like.
Yeah, but for a lot of our blue cards, we also need the red. You know what I mean?
That's true.
I think we actually want to go this way. This way, this gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 white sources, which is great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blue sources, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red sources. 9, 7, 6. I kind of like the feel of that.
Yeah.
Because we don't need double blue for anything, you know? We don't need double anything for anything.
I guess we don't need the blue super early.
No.
I just want to turn that monastery flock up and singing bell strikes.
Yeah, I mean, but like we also want to Winter Flame and Jeskai Charm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
That's
play
right.
our High Spire Mantis on turn 4.
Yeah.
And play Warden of the Eye whenever we want to or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
And we still have 7 islands. Like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, like, when you play 2-color decks, sometimes your mana base is 10-7, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And we're somehow squeezing in 9-7-5. How does that even work?
With the magic of the dry land.
Of the dual lands, man. All right, we've got 1 minute and 30 seconds left. This is their deck. 18 lands, 13 creatures, 40 cards. Let's submit.